Welcome to Unbiased and on the Fence. I'm Shane. Thank you guys so much for joining us for the Power of 8 at 8. How are you doing, Eileen?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Oh man, I am just jazzed, ready to go.
I
Can you
just
feel
got out
the
of the
energy?
pool. So if my hair looks all curly, it's not a perm. I just literally got out of the pool. I'm feeling pretty jazzed too.
Yeah, man, it's perfect pool weather, isn't it? Actually, it
Yeah.
was it was in the 70s here today, so we had sort of a cool front come through, and
We're up in the 90s. You know, anything under 100 in August is a blessing.
let's see, yeah, 78 right now. A little bit
Perfect.
of rainy, but
Perfect.
yeah, that is perfect weather, isn't it? Like 70s. I
I
actually
think
like
so.
jacket weather. I like 60s. That way, if you get active, you can like peel off your jacket, and it's like, if you're running around or doing anything that's
I
more,
like it in the 60s too.
yeah,
I like sweater weather.
yeah. So if you sit down, you can throw a jacket on, but if you're up moving around, or, you know, and it's good. Do you think we'd appreciate it as much if we had it all year round?
Probably not. We just complain about it. We go, oh my God, it's always 70. Can't we get something different besides 70?
And I think
Complain.
I think the nostalgia would go away, because I always seem to do that. If it's springtime, it brings about a certain nostalgia. If it's like fall, it brings about, that whole back to school feeling when it's starting to
Yeah,
get
it's like
cool
those
again.
movies when you're a kid where it's Christmas every day and the kids get sick of it and they're like, please, Christmas, go away, right? There have been cartoons and movies. You have to like anticipate something and know
Yeah.
it's coming. And then it's like, yeah, it's almost Christmas.
Yeah, so if you had every day was Christmas except for one, then
You'd
that
be
day
like,
would become Christmas, right? You'd be like, oh,
yeah.
thank God, it's not a Christmas day.
So, what is it about human beings that we're programmed in our DNA to always want more and to always want improvements and always want change? I'm a real change junkie. I love switching things up, you
Oh
know?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
I'll
love
get
that.
bored.
Then you love like rearranging your room and then waking up and being confused for a moment because everything was different. Did you do
Sometimes I
that as a
wake up
kid?
and I'm confused anyway. I'm like, who am I and where am I and what's happening here? And I'm like, oh, okay. I know where I am now.
Yeah, I don't get that too much. I get it with just strange places. If it always would happen ever since I was a kid. We go on vacation, you wake up in a hotel room and you're like, what the heck? What's going on for a second?
Yeah, I'm kind of a baby. I always leave a little light on in the bathroom and then close the door as much as possible
Yeah,
so that if
that's
I
what we would
do
always
wake up,
do.
I can follow the light and
Right.
not just be in complete darkness going, where am I? How do I get out of here?
Just basic response like a moth or something. Follow the light.
Follow the light. Follow the light. Although there's a lot of videos out there going, don't follow the light. When you die, guys, remember to not follow the light. And I'm like, wow, when you're dying, I don't think you're thinking about the light. I don't think you're like in control of the process.
No. In fact, there's something is that in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth about the not going into the light or to,
No, the tablets have never been found. And the closest they've gotten to it is some old hieroglyphic text from Hermes Trismegistus, who they think is Thoth or Toth.
right?
And he says a whole bunch of things. I was listening to it today. So what you just said is a real synchronicity for me. So I'll send you the video. And if you go in, like, I'll give you a time, like 10 minutes, it'll tell you 60 things that Toth supposedly said as Hermes Trismegistus. And that means Hermes 3 times great. And he says things like, God is good, humans are evil. God lives in goodness, humans live in hell. And I'm like, wait, no, I don't agree. I'm like, but I made
Wait,
myself listen to the whole thing.
Emerald Tablets of Thoth?
Those are the words of Hermes Trismegistus.
But that what you're saying is from the
Well,
Tablets of
because the
Thoth?
Emerald Tablets of Thoth have never been found, and they think that Hermes Trismegistus was Thoth, this is the only thing written, and it's very ancient in Egypt, and it's all in hieroglyphics. So I'm sending you the video. You listen to it. Tell me what you think.
Right, but what you said, did that come from what is known as the Emerald Tablets of Thoth that are out there now?
No, I think the Emerald Tablets of Thoth have been channeled, and they've been represented going back to 1960.
Okay, I just didn't remember reading that in there. That's why I was wondering,
Yeah, there's
or
no
anything
ancient
like that.
Emerald Tablet translation. And you know me, I just love to get to the source of things. So before I'm going to believe something, I need to know where they got it from. Like they found the tablets, they found them in ancient Sumeria or ancient Egypt, and they finally decoded them. And then I'd be like, well, can I listen to a couple of different versions of the translations? Because the Oxford translations of the Sumerian tablets are a little bit different to the Sitchin translations of the Sumerian tablets.
Hmm.
So whoever does the translating kind of throws their belief systems in with it.
Kind of like channeling,
Yeah. Yeah. What if channeling is reaching your higher consciousness to give you the information?
but there's
Right?
still that filter there, right?
There's still that human being who's read and thought a lot of things.
I mean, if you just think of it like the vocabulary alone, if you just have someone's vocabulary to work with, that alone is going to sort of color it. You know what I mean? Because all of a
Yeah.
sudden, if the message is about some kind of source, God type figure, it might come through as God, but we all know God turns off people. Some people get triggered by that. It's like too religious sounding. Other people like
Yeah.
source,
They like
or it could
source,
be the
source
other way around.
energy.
My sister's like, I don't. It just sounds too new agey. Source, I
Yeah, I
like
like both.
God.
I like God.
I don't
I can
mind
work
either
with
one.
God easy.
Source, God, Creator. You know.
It's funny because you mentioned that because Thoth is the god of ancient Egypt. He's not the first one, but he brought writing to humankind according to the ancient Egyptian myths or religious thinking. So he must have been like a brother of Osiris because Osiris and Isis were brother and sister. But you and I were talking once about Ra, and Ra is either their father or their grandfather. Ra is the father or the grandfather of all the gods, depending on what age wrote about him. Like some ancient writings say he's the grandfather of the gods, and some ancient temple writing says he's the father of the gods. And he has parents too. He's represented by the sun disk. He's the sun. And I think his mom and dad are um, Geb and Nut, N-U-T, N-U-U-T. And they were supposed to be just the male and female energies of God, just cosmic, swirling around out there. No planets, no light, nothing, just energy. And they gave birth to Ra, and then Ra gave birth to the Egyptian gods, supposedly.
So it is that common thread where you see how Enlil is also Jehovah, or Yaldabaoth, or
And who is Enki?
and then Enki would be the reptilian, or the snake in the garden, or some believe even Thoth or Thoth. You know,
Yeah, because they say the snake in the Garden of Eden was giving knowledge from the tree of life.
yeah.
So if you enlighten human beings, then you're the fallen angel,
I
which
think
is
they even think
Lucifer,
Enki's
bringer of light.
Jesus, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know, because every time I read
I
it,
always stay away from that one just because it's too many people get upset about it. But but I don't know. You know what I mean?
all I know is these stories have been around for at least 6,000 years,
Yeah,
you know, and they're important then. They're
yeah.
important stories, and how much of it is imagination and how
Hmm.
much of it is fact and how much of it is a little bit of both.
And then it's sort of like piecing it together when you get the different cultures that dealt with these people, and it's like you see enough commonality there that you realize they're speaking about the same person. But then you try to sort of, there again we have it where it's sort of filtered through that culture. You know what I mean? So there's a
Yeah,
little bit of that you got to pick
we've
through.
definitely got the culture of the people at the time who wrote it down.
Yeah.
That's important because I was reading or hearing or listening to a YouTube video where there's some geological proof that Eden did flood. If you consider Eden being where the Tigris and the Euphrates meet,
Hmm.
and somewhere around Iran, Iraq, Turkey, that area, that flooded. So if you were living in that area and your homes, your families, and your crops and your animals got washed away, you would say the whole world flooded. That
Yeah.
for you is the whole world flooding,
Hmm.
even though it's just your area.
Yeah, I've thought that too. Just that whole
Yeah,
area with the Mediterranean, because you can see what
all those
300
cities
cities we're talking.
underwater
Yeah.
about 12,000 years ago.
So you can see how the water level
6,000 years ago,
increased, but
12,000 years ago.
then didn't go back to where it was.
I've heard
Perhaps.
6,000 years ago. I've heard 12,000 years ago.
Yeah.
So who knows which is right, you know? And also, they blamed it on God. So there you are. You're living without any electricity and any communication other than your mouth and your ears in a agrarian culture 6,000 years ago. And then suddenly everything gets washed away. So why wouldn't you say, oh my God, God is punishing us? God took everything away from us. He took our children away, our food. Oh God, we're getting very down here. Okay, up, 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 up. But you know what I mean? And then you
Yeah.
would write it and you would tell the story. Maybe you would tell the story for 1,000 years, and then eventually somebody would write it down
Yeah.
and say that,
We've all
God
played
did
the
it.
telephone game,
God did it. Yeah.
right?
I only say that because they also believed that there were gods in volcanoes. And if you made them mad, they would erupt. The volcano god would like spit lava at you. So, they're really interesting,
I don't blame
imaginative
them one doubt,
stories.
though. I mean, if you think about it, if you just don't have the knowledge about where lightning comes from, it totally seems like some kind of angry
Oh,
forces up
yeah.
there shooting electricity at you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You
throwing
don't even.
lightning bolts at you. Who's that? Who besides, Thor, right? Who
Right.
who throws?
Poseidon. Well, that's the water guy with the.
Yeah, that would be the hurricanes, right?
Right.
That would be the
Zeus, is it?
I think Zeus has
Uh,
lightning bolts.
I don't know.
I think so.
Is it
Neptune
Thor with
Neptune
his
has a
hammer?
trident, and Poseidon are the same gods. He has
Right,
a
right, right.
trident.
Yeah, and then Zeus and someone else are the same guy.
Yeah, but who? Who's the same with Zeus?
Well, it's the Poseidon.
Neptune.
Okay, and then Zeus and from the other same stories.
Yeah. Read
Yeah.
read Roman theology, not theology, mythology and Greek mythology decades ago. So, and then I knew that let's see,
Somebody had chime in with it.
Venus is the goddess of love in the Roman side, and that's Aphrodite in Greece.
Okay.
And Neptune and Poseidon. I'm not sure if the Romans get Neptune, probably because they named all the planets Venus, Neptune.
Jupiter. Jupiter is.
Jupiter's a god.
I think
Saturn.
Jupiter's Zeus, isn't it? Or no?
Jupiter must be Zeus because Zeus is the Greek, so that would be Jupiter on the other side. I think you're right. And Saturn is Kronos, the eater of time.
Interesting stuff, isn't it?
It's fascinating.
Do you think? What's your thoughts on the whole Saturn or the Moon? Do you think we're getting? I guess you've heard of Saturn being this huge antenna that's controlling our reality, and what do you think
Well,
of
I don't
all
know.
that?
I like to follow a little bit, not like 100%. I like to listen to alternative astrology, which is Livette channel, and she goes by where the planets are now today.
Hmm.
So I'm not even a Gemini. I was, if I was born 1700 years ago, I would have been a Gemini. But the planets moved and the Earth processed, right? The procession
Yeah.
of the equinox, everything shifted over 2,000 years, which meant the sun was really in Taurus when I was born in June. And so she says, Saturn is getting a bad rap, and we are going into Saturn now, and it's really positive. And everybody else in old astrology, which I think is called tropical astrology, I don't know. Somebody in here is probably an astrologer. They can tell us. They're saying that we're leaving Saturn. We're leaving the age of Saturn. But Levette says we're leaving the age of Jupiter, which is expansion, and Saturn is contraction. So
Oh,
we've been expanding, expanding, expanding. You know, the British Empire, the American military expansion, the money, the credit, everything's expand, expand, expand. And now we're going into the time of Saturn, which is contraction,
wow.
and not bad, not evil. But then, you know, she says none of the planet's energies are evil. They all have a different, you know, a different energy.
Yeah. It's kind of like the weather, right?
Kind of like the weather. And the Theosophists believed that the planets had a personality, a logos. Remember?
Oh yeah. I think they're conscious. It might not be the same
Yeah.
kind of conscious like we have, but it's definitely alive. It's I mean, everywhere we look, it's hard for us to look anywhere and there's not life. You know what I mean? I mean, they've even like dug into like caves that don't have an opening, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like basically hollowed out rock. They went inside there. They found these organisms that, since they didn't have sunlight at all, they used, instead of photosynthesis, they used chemosynthesis. So it actually used chemicals, and they're really weird, alien-looking, translucent creatures.
Are those the ones in the hot water way, 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 way down?
There's some like that down there too. Yeah, by the
Yeah.
vents. By the
By the
vents.
vents
Yeah,
where they never see light.
right. So everywhere we look, there's life. I mean, it would be more extraordinary to look somewhere and there's not life than the other way around.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Think about digging a hole or anything. You can't go anywhere and there's not, some kind of life within a
So
few feet of you
imagine,
at the most.
no, you're right. Dig a hole, you're going to find life in the
Yeah.
dirt, right?
Yeah, a worm, an ant, something. Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
always.
rocks grow. Did you guys know that? Crystals continue to grow like a millimeter or two a year.
Hmm.
So
Is
that's
it
life.
sediment like collecting on it, or is it actually growing and
It's
multiplying?
growing. It's growing from a little crystal to a big crystal
Right.
really slowly. Like it would take, you know, like 10,000 years to notice the growth, to really see
Right.
it grow. It would be over a long period of time. So that means it's moving, which means technically it's alive, because we define life as something that moves, right?
And grows and
And
like a
grows.
tree. Just because it's
Yeah,
got a
trees alive.
longer stretched out life doesn't make it any less of an alive thing. You know what I mean?
So
So I
don't
guess
you find it odd that we human beings thought for so many centuries that we were alone in the universe? Like we look all around us on the earth and there's life everywhere, but then we look up at the stars and go, nope, nothing out there. Just us down here. Just us and God, right?
Well, when we get back to the era we were just talking about, they did look at the stars as if they were the gods themselves, didn't they?
Yeah.
Jupiter, because they didn't move with the other stars, so the
Yeah, they figured
wandering
the
stars,
planets
as they
out,
call
didn't
them.
they? The wandering stars, they called them,
Right?
because they didn't always go where they were supposed to go.
They kind of did their own thing,
Yeah, they
so
turned around and went the other direction, and like, yeah.
made them seem alive. You can totally
Yeah.
imagine if you don't have TV or radio or a smartphone, all you have to do is look up at the sky every night.
Well, it would have been much easier, since everybody thinks aliens live now. Everybody's like, yeah, 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 I'm sure there's extraterrestrials, life outside of Earth. If they all just came down here and shook our hands a long time ago, that would have been a
Yeah.
lot easier for us to figure out like our place in the universe.
But then again, I see us just shooting bows and arrows or spears or something at them. Trying
Oh,
to come
yeah,
and
for
shake our
sure.
hand.
A spear, an arrow
You've seen the whole
against a
phenomena
spaceship.
of the cargo cult,
Yes, I have.
right? Where a
That
plane went
is that
down. I
like
guess
true? Are they still around where they worship airplanes?
I don't know. I know it happened. I guess it was in World War II that it happened, that a plane landed somewhere and they started making these like bamboo airplanes to mimic them, and they're all talking on their radio. It's like magic, and of course they're leaving all this food that they had,
An offering. Don't
MREs
kill
or
us.
whatever,
Here's our food. We love you. Don't hurt us.
right? And they were viewed as like gods. That's just crazy. And that was what 70 years ago, 60 years, 70 years ago.
I remember that. I think there was a movie on it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
they even had like USA across their chest in the pictures. Did you see that?
I think so. Yeah.
That's funny.
I mean, you're talking back to the 70s. Yeah. 70, 90, 40 years ago.
I have no idea. It's just some kind of hieroglyphs in their mind, but it actually says
Weren't they,
USA
wasn't
right
there
across
something
their
about
chest.
Coca-Cola? Didn't they have a Coca-Cola shirt
Oh, oh,
or
oh. Well, no, they okay. So they made the movie "The Gods Must Be Crazy." You
that's it?
remember? Yeah, where they
Yeah.
dropped the Coke bottle out and they were trying to use it for all sorts of things. They
The
didn't know what it
gods
was.
must be
And
crazy. I'm going to see if I can find that movie online again and watch it again.
yeah, that's such an interesting way to. I guess it was built off the whole cargo cult idea,
I think
wasn't
so.
it?
I
Yeah.
think so. So we're a cargo cult because now we're finally going, okay, well, maybe there's life out there. Yeah, there probably is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we had our own little insular cult going where we thought there were only humans. You know, lots of planets, lots of stars, lots of galaxies, but life, no, 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 just humans.
For me, it was the Hubble deep field image when
Yeah.
that came out,
Hmm.
where they actually point their telescope for like 2 weeks and leave the shutter open to this empty square in the sky that looks like it has nothing in it. And when they expose it after 2 weeks of it, sitting there,
A
you
gazillion
see
galaxies.
it's just riddled with where it looks like there's nothing there. There's nothing but
It's
galaxies
just
with
full. Like,
billions of stars in each
yeah, like where
galaxy.
we see billions of stars, they see billions of galaxies.
That's wild, isn't
That's
it?
kind of cool.
Well, when you
So
see that, to think we're the only thing alive is absolutely ridiculous. It's
it is, it's
preposterous.
embarrassing. So
Right.
I'm saying sorry for all of humanity that used to think there was nothing but humans in existence.
Yeah, because you look at that and it's like, unless it's some kind of fake projection, which, we are just trusting that that really is an image from the Hubble,
Yeah,
but
that's the
assuming it's,
thing. We don't really trust NASA anymore because I was looking at that map that you did for us where, in the 70s, I recall Carl Sagan and others saying we're on the Sagittarius
yeah,
arm. Neil deGrasse Tyson said it because that's still on YouTube.
yeah,
If you just search Sagittarius arm Neil deGrasse Tyson, that he'll say it for you.
yeah,
And then we looked at the new NASA map, right?
yeah,
And we found out that yes, we're supposedly on the Orion Spur, but what did Shane figure out? The Orion Spur comes off the Sagittarius arm. It's not like one's up here and one's down there. They're together, but then they twisted the picture of the map so that we used to be shown on Sag at the top. They've turned it down. Now we're on Orion arm at the bottom. So could be a Mandela effect, or perhaps NASA updated its maps in 40 years. Maybe 40 years ago, they didn't know there was an Orion Spur. And maybe Hubble and all these telescopes helped them see it. And then they
yeah.
went, oh, there's another arm coming off of Sag. Let's draw it in there. And then they went, oh, actually, our solar system is on the other arm.
Right. I can definitely see them doing that because as the computer models are tracking the stars, the more they move, the more they can track and figure out where we are in
Where we are.
relationship to everything moving and everything the way it moves with each other. And it's kind of like being on the highway. We're all moving together, but different cars are moving at different speeds. So things are changing and your perspective from Earth is changing. So if you can track how things are moving, then it
You
gives
can
you a better
know
idea of,
where you are. And
yeah.
maybe a lot of things that we think are Mandela effects. I totally believe in the Mandela effect. I'm going to share a personal one that was crazy this week. But maybe some of it is just new information. Like they didn't tell us back then about the Statue of Liberty and the arm, but they're telling us now. I don't know. Maybe the people who wrote the history books went, hey, Germany's our friend now. Let's not say Germany attacked the mainland of America. I don't know. I don't trust the information I got way back then, and I don't trust the information I get now from any authority,
Well,
ever.
do you know anybody that said they've actually been up in the torch?
No. Do you? Do you know
No.
anybody who's been in the torch?
Nope. I've only heard of people that say they've been in the torch.
I've heard of
I don't
people in
know
the
any.
crown, and I remember seeing photographs, bless you, of people in the crown. Because there's windows in the crown, right?
Right.
No,
But
I do not remember anybody being up in the torch. In fact, it looks kind of dangerous because the filaments around the torch are kind of spiky, aren't they? Aren't they kind of jagged?
Well, it's that would be above where they walk out, right? It's more like
I don't know.
I think it's more like a balcony sort of a thing
Okay.
at the bottom of the torch.
Oh, okay. Not at the top where it's all spiky.
Right.
I have no clue, but you know what? Mandela effects are personal
Yeah.
and shared. So if you say it's new for you, I believe you.
Yeah.
But what I don't believe is if a textbook tells me the way something's supposed to be. I'll believe people in our community long before I'll believe an official version. Do you know what I mean? I'm more with the people now
Yeah.
than the authorities over the people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. Jane was in the crown 3 times.
Where was Jane?
Jane made it into the crown of the Statue of Liberty,
Oh,
but not the torch.
I
So
hope
I'm
you didn't
just
have to
wondering.
walk up like 500 steps. Was there like an elevator?
Hmm,
Like the St. Louis Arch is an elevator. Have you
Yeah.
been in that? I was
Yeah.
in it as a kid.
Yeah.
You get into
Yeah.
a little
That's.
capsule and then you get taken up to the top and you get to go out and look out of a little window.
Yep. You get to lean over and look
You get
down
to
at it.
lean over and look down. Yep.
They say that thing sways 5 foot each direction. It's got a ten
Holy
foot sway
moly.
to it. Yeah.
That would be kind of scary, but maybe it needs to sway.
Yeah, it does to
Yeah, not
absorb
fall
the.
over.
Yeah. But
So,
just
can
to
I
know
tell my
that.
Mandela effect?
Yeah, you gotta share this. This is crazy.
So, this I think is now the new original. Okay, so um, I got this book that we've been talking about occasionally that's been redacted by whatever. And
Hmm.
if I flip through it, can you see that it's only one-sided?
Yeah.
Is it like cards? Can you see or not? How do you show people? Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the side with writing. And then if you flip it over and do it,
Nothing.
um, nothing. That's the white side. Do you see the
Yeah.
white?
Absolutely.
Now
So it's
this is
one
the new
sided.
this is the new original. Totally
You seem like you're
one-sided.
setting up a magic trick here.
It is like a magic trick.
It is, isn't it?
It is. That's what I said to everybody. And then I tried to go, or a Mandela effect, and they all went, huh? And I'm like, I'm
Right.
not going there. Okay, it's a magic trick, everybody. So I just didn't feel like explaining the Mandela side of things. So um I wanted to get a copy of the book for Shane, and I've never read it, and I never took it out of its little package here. I had it in a paper bag or a plastic bag. I think it was a plastic bag. So I took it to a company that does photocopying and shipping, and they have lots of bright colors on their trucks. So you kind of know which company I went to. And I asked this really nice young kid behind the counter, maybe 20 years old, here, I'd like to make a copy of this. And he said, "Oh, do it yourself." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to go through every page and then have to flip it over and go through every other page if it's double-sided." And he said, "No, the machine will do it for you." So he showed me. We put my credit card in, and then he goes, "Is it double-sided or single-sided?" And I said, "I don't know. Let's look." So we took it out, we flipped through it. I saw double side, he saw double side, and then he hit double-sided printing on the copier. And then I stood there and he went away, and it went did one side, and then suddenly it went and did the other side. And I took them out. The copies were hot in my hands, and they were 100% white on both sides. There wasn't a single word copied, and there was like air in between them, and they weren't quite lined up. So I know they went through the process. So I left the original in the machine, and I walked over. It wasn't very far away, and I handed it to him, and I said, "What happened to my copies?" And we walked back over, and he said, "I've never seen that happen before." So, like maybe if toner runs out, it runs out gradually.
Exactly.
It doesn't like print perfectly one day and then the next second all white. So he gets the originals out, and they've been flicked through, and he has to straighten them, and he puts them on his machine behind the counter. And then he takes the white copies that are all white away from me, and then he brings me the copies, and then he brings me the originals. And I'm looking through the copies, and they're one-sided. So I go, "Excuse me, why are these one-sided? Did you only one side copy them behind there, or did you double side them?" And he said, "No, I hit double side for the copies on my side and your side." So he takes the originals out of the machine and we flick through them, and the other side is white. We have copies on one side where it's dark and printed and words and pictures. And then if you flick through it, it's 100% white on the backside. So he and I are standing there, and I said, "You saw it was double sided, right?" And he went, "Uh huh." And I said, "I saw it was double sided." Two young girls standing next to us try to help us and go, "You do know that double sided means printed on both sides, right?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do know that." And he's like, "Yeah, duh. Of course I know that. I work here." And they're like, "We're just trying to help." And I said, "No, what happened was before we put them in the machine, we checked and they were all double sided. And when they came out of the first machine, they came up out single sided, the originals." So then the girl standing next to me goes, "Oh, well, maybe it's one of those TV shows and you've been pranked." And they're going to jump out behind the copiers and go, "Just kidding. Ha ha ha. We changed the copies on you."
Eileen got punked.
I got punked. And so we're looking around. Nope, nobody's jumping out at us. And I said, "Well, guys, that's
Ashton
like,
Crutcher, what's his name? Ashton Crutcher pop out. Oh, we
yeah,
got you.
Kutcher, I don't know. I can't even say his name.
Yeah.
Ashton Kutcher. Yeah. No, nobody punked us. And I said, "Well, guys, that's like magic. It's a magic trick. Actually, it's a Mandela effect." And then I looked at all their faces for a reaction, and they're like,
Deer in the headlights.
and I go, "Okay, it's magic. It's magic. We'll stick with magic."
But you planted that little seed there, you know.
Yeah, they're all going
One
to
day
go
they'll be
home
like,
now.
Mandela effect.
No,
I've
they're going
heard
to
that
go
from
and check
somewhere.
out Mandela effect now that I said the magic was a Mandela effect.
Right.
I said, it's either magic or a Mandela effect.
Let's see, Marianne's saying maybe timelines are moving back and forth.
Yes.
Unstable with the pole shift in addition to collapsing. Hence the
But
Mandela
Marianne,
effect
what
of seeing
happened to
things.
the other half of my book? You know what I feel like? I feel like,
Is the stack bigger? Does it feel like the stack's bigger than what you took there?
no, the stack feels the same.
So you
And
think there's
so,
less information there?
well, no, I thought so. I thought, oh no, if I was the only one to read the book, I could read both sides. But now that I'm sharing it with Shane, they've taken away the other side. So there was information in there that maybe I would be allowed to read so long as I didn't share it. So I should have read it before I tried to copied it myself. I don't know. It's crazy. So
Maybe I'm the only one that's supposed to have the information, and when I get it, the words will pop back on there, right?
yes, exactly. Or maybe you'll see words on the other side and I don't.
Wouldn't that be a
And
trip if I get it and I get it home and I'm like, I pulled it out and it's double sided again. I went to start reading it. But
oh
now
my
that we
God,
have this,
if
we've
it's
got proof.
double-sided, you're going to
right
have to
here
read
now.
it to me. You have to read the other side to me. So they changed the book between the time I walked in and when I put it on the copier. It was double-sided because I had a witness. The young kid went, "Oh, let's see." And we flicked through it and he saw it, I saw it. So then it went on the copier and everything came out white, which it shouldn't have. And that's when the change occurred. And then my originals were one-sided instead of double-sided. So my sister, if she's in the room, hey, Leslie, she had some great suggestions. She said, that copier is probably online with AI bots. So could it be that the AI bots read what you were copying, realized it was all redacted information because the CIA has only released 56 pages of this.
And she's not giving me a copy of that, just so you guys know. She was
I
joking,
am not
guys.
giving a copy of this to anybody.
And if she did, I wouldn't read it, I promise. I'm just kidding.
So we need a code. We need our own little Bible, our own little dictionary, and a code for this group. So she said maybe the machine and AI switched things around, sucked up the original, which is still in the machine somewhere, and being sent off somewhere, and then spat out a version that we're allowed to read.
That's crazy that it was
That's
hot,
crazy.
though, isn't it? The stack.
It was
empty,
hot white paper
hot white paper.
on both sides.
Did he do a test or anything to see if it would print anything else, or if it
No,
was
we
out of
just
toner
left the
or
weird
anything?
machine away. And then we
Okay.
went, and when the lady said, maybe you've been punked and it's still in the machine, the original, he and I went over there and we broke it down. We opened it up. We pulled every tray out. We're like, okay, maybe the original's hiding in here somewhere. We couldn't find a piece of paper that wasn't just, for the paper tray. So she's got a point. That was very clever to say,
Yeah.
like I have a little copier at home that isn't attached to the internet, and I could have copied it there one page at a time if I wanted to. And I should have, standing there
So
forever.
you do feel like you lost information somewhere in there, then?
No, because then I went and got the table. I hope you can read. No, you're not reading this anyway. I'm like, it's kind of fuzzy, this copy, so I hope you can read it. So then I got the table of contents out, which I can't see right now. And it said, so many chapters, 117 pages. And I'm like, this is a 243-page book. That's how I bought it. And then I look, and there's 117 pages. But there's an extra book at the end that's part 2 that I didn't know I have because I never read it. And it's 85 pages. So what's 117 and 85?
202?
It's nowhere near 243, is it? And it's sold as a 243-page book. So
makes you wonder
what happened. And it was the same day that you and Michelle were talking about, oh, look at that Schumann. I'm like in the car listening to you guys. Schumann's all over the place right at the show time. Go in, make the copy, and my book disappears. Half of it.
That's wild.
But all the pages are there. So it's just a different version of the same book now.
It's hard to believe it, isn't it?
It is when it happens to you right up front. Sherry's got those stories, right? With like the words on her sink changed and a restaurant she went to changed. When it's a personal Mandela effect, you like to have company to verify it, like the kid and the kids. Like I had company. Everybody was going through this with me, so I wasn't crazy.
Right. Absolutely. Because you won't believe your eyes like a moment later. Like when I had that car that just disappeared into thin air, I sat there and questioned myself. And I still question myself. Even though I still haven't come up with any logical explanation on where that car was.
Was it really there?
Yeah. I know it was really there. And then I know it really wasn't.
So. I believe you. There's videos, but then videos I can mess around with, right?
Right, yeah.
So I had a catastrophic error and I lost all the original footage of the UFO, but I lost all the ghost footage. So I've been collecting it back from people that I sent it to.
Mm-hmm.
And I collected a lot of the video footage that you and Dead GPK put up.
Mm-hmm.
So my phone had a catastrophic error as it was transferring a heck of a lot of video and pictures to my laptop.
So you lost a lot of data?
I lost everything after May 2018. That's a lot. So either the ghost didn't want to be on my phone anymore, or the banner, which we think is an aerial banner, or a UFO. But then I took your video slowed down and Dead GPK's video slowed down because it's going to a tiny little UFO channel that likes to break things apart more and look at them. And I noticed that there was a banner and a banner. At one point, there were 2 banners.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the 2 banners? One in the top and one in the distance. And at that point, the plane pulling it had disappeared, but was there earlier. And now there's 2 banners, and I'm almost feeling like I'm looking at a boomerang. Like I'm looking at a boomerang that is cloaking, not 100% working.
Mm-hmm.
Like not everything is cloaked.
Right.
Which would explain why the plane is not there in the beginning, is there for a very short period of time, and then disappears again because it's the tip, it's the nose of the boomerang.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Jamie's asking, what about the page numbers? Is
that
what
Jamie?
You were saying? Yeah, Jamie was.
Hey,
yeah.
Jamie, good seeing you today. We were in the chat today on another channel.
Yeah, he's asking about the page numbers.
The page numbers say
separated
the whole
by the
book
parts?
is there. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's 2 pages per page.
Right.
Yeah.
So they begin
so
when you get to part 2.
Hmm?
That's what you were saying. It gets to.
Well, Funny, I
117, and
just
then
split it like splitting cards, and I got the second book up that I didn't know I had. Can you guys see that?
wow, yeah.
I didn't even know that was there. Maybe it wasn't there on the original book.
Hmm.
So I got the second one,
Maybe the
Aftermath of the Adam and Eve story.
could be a positive thing. Your
That's 85 pages on.
Star Family
Maybe
might
it's
have said,
positive.
"Let's give you that redacted information." Here you go.
Maybe they're giving me more information in here than was in the originals.
Or maybe they swapped out that fake copy you have for the real stuff.
Yeah.
You never know.
You
Could be
know,
positive.
Jamie and I were keeping it positive today in the chat and saying, if people think that this is a bad version of Earth, maybe it's a better version of Earth because you're more powerful here, because you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I can't wait to read it. I will read it. But I know I read the 56 pages on the, where.
Yeah, I
So,
think I think Leak Project has covered it a few times, and I've watched Rex talk about it. But
oh, I'll
I
go
mean,
check that out.
yeah, I'm
It's kind of
interested in.
obvious. We've talked about it a few times, haven't we?
Yeah,
The
it'd be
56
good.
pages. It just basically says that there are cyclical resets on Earth, and somehow we survive them and we get to start all over, which is why we don't have writing from 20,000 years ago.
It's like we're always on a path of rediscovery.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Hmm. So let's see. Did we have anything? The solar plexus thing went great last week.
Yeah, I got some feedback on that. Everybody seemed to like doing the solar plexus meditation.
And that's good because, I had all the rainbow colors in my art selection except for yellow. So I felt like it sort of brought
Oh, good.
that all back into balance. You know what I mean?
That's cool. We could do a love and peace on earth meditation because I dipped my toes into 3D news today,
Yeah.
but not MSM. I stayed away from that. And I found out that there are improvements in Yemen, the Arab Emirates. Yeah, what is it? The Arab something Emirates,
Yeah.
United Arab Emirates has pulled out, and they're not going to participate in doing anything to Yemen anymore. So to me, that's a really good sign that maybe that's almost over. It's like 4.5 years. But
Hmm.
we've stepped up our 3D conflict with Venezuela because they kicked out all the bankers. They kicked out the central bankers, and they got cut off of goods and medicine and food, but they managed. And
Yeah.
now they're cut off of everything. If you're Venezuelan, you can't even send a letter to your family. In Venezuela now, the United States government won't mail it.
Excuse me. Wow.
So
That's like.
yeah, it's like trying to really isolate them until they bring in the central bankers again. Yeah.
And then did you hear we had another incident in Texas just a couple hours
I
ago?
did, yeah, but I don't know anything about it because I'm trying to avoid mainstream news, but I think I might have to.
Yeah. Our thoughts and prayers with them. I don't really know anything about it, but
I don't either because if it's a school, school's out. It's summer, right?
it's a mall.
I'm all.
Hmm. That's about all I know. And I think 19 involved.
Well, if you look into it, you will find it doesn't happen all over the world. It's a very American thing. So you have to kind of say, just remember that. Look into it and go, why isn't it happening all over the world? Like when I
And
lived
then, like, it just now started with New Zealand. And
Yeah, and when I lived in England and Germany and Romania, Czechoslovakia, in England, the last one was like 1980. There was one incident, one in 1980, and not a single one between 1980 and 2012 when I left, and there haven't been any after. So you have to go, why is it an American thing that happens in America? It's important to know that if that all human beings are not doing it in all countries.
yeah, that is strange.
That is strange.
Especially when you think of, like, how they blame it on video games. And that's just
Video
as
games
big
are
all over
global.
the world. Yeah.
All kids play them in Europe too.
Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah. A lot of people in South and Central and South America play.
It's not
Yeah.
happening in, it's not reported to be happening in South America. It's not reported in Canada. Very rare in Europe.
And then we had the Australian and
Very rare in Australia,
New
New
Zealand
Zealand.
just recently. Some stuff happened there. So
Yeah. So, when you see an anomaly, when you see something that's strange, then that's when my truth detector goes off. I'm like, not saying that it's not true. I'm just saying that's when I go, I wonder why that is. Why is it only occurring in the United States?
Preliminal says, I remember Croatia and Bosnia located a bit more east. Are you familiar with those locations?
I don't know where they are because I remember them as Yugoslavia when it was all one big country. That's how I learned about it in school
Right now they're
before
right
the
next to
Bosnian War.
Italy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be new for me. I knew of them before they split.
yeah. See, I need to find that, and gosh, I hope it's not. I might only have the YouTube video I did, but I had the map that had changed. I'd like to open it up and see if it's
We
changed
should see
again,
if the
but
map's changed again.
yeah. Because
You
what's
know,
interesting is mine doesn't. My artwork on top of the map doesn't change, but the map underneath keeps getting updated
but
as it.
technically, a Mandela effect means that it all changes, and you say, "I don't remember drawing it that way."
Right.
Technically, it's safe from the Mandela effect. Why is your drawing safe?
I think it's because I took letters and lined them up rather than tracing it. I don't know.
I don't
That's
know.
a great point.
It's safe from it.
It's mind-boggling to me because when I open the file now, it looks like I just completely ignored the map. And
And of
the
course, you
hours I
didn't.
spent on there.
Yeah, I want to
Just
see it
the
again though, because I'd love to see if anything else is off. I remember Lone Eagle used to be tracing stuff. He was tracing the outlines of continents and islands just to see over time on Google Map if they moved. They've definitely everything's moving.
has
But
he
then
seen anything that he could he go back to the video and it looks like he's not tracing it
I don't
anymore or
know. I'll
anything?
go check it out. I'll go check it out. I haven't, I've been watching his other videos on other topics.
Yeah. Because I think I did like Mandela Effect that I did some kind of cool thing like that and I joined in with it, but I never went back. And
Chick does it too. Chick channel, she traces, she might not be tracing it, but she's always looking at parts of the earth to change. But then I sit there with my Sherlock Holmes hat on and go, well, wait a minute. That's not the real earth. That's Google Earth presenting earth to us.
yeah,
So I want to know how the real earth changes because I don't trust Google to present it accurately,
yeah.
you know?
You have to trust people like Lone Eagle that
I
really
trust
pays
him
attention to that
and I
stuff. Yeah.
trust Chick, but I wouldn't trust Google. Isn't that interesting? But I trust the people in my community.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
do you want to do peace on earth? Because we've just stepped things up on Venezuela and they're kind of calming things down in Yemen. And there's like hotspots all over the world. We don't have to mention specific countries, but during the meditation, maybe you guys want to send as much love and heart energy and healing and forgiveness of both sides to wherever, like a region of the world or the entire planet. Well, it might not be a planet, the whole world, the whole earth.
Yeah, the whole world. Like maybe something along the lines of that everyone gets nudged onto their optimal path or
Yeah.
something.
I
You
mean,
know?
if you think about it, both sides need to be healed,
Yeah. The most
right?
beneficial outcome for all, and everyone get helped onto their optimal timeline, which is one of more
Yeah,
peace and
peace and love and
healing
healing on the earth.
and
Whether you
compassion
see the
and
earth round or
yeah,
flat, doesn't matter. Just sending, I mean, I wonder if we can suck in that energy from God or source and then send it out of our hearts together to cover the whole world, just to calm. Maybe we can do the blue. Maybe we can send blue energy all over the world since we've been getting messages that blue is very calming.
and which is it blue throat
Yeah,
chakra? Okay.
blue's throat. And of course, we can mix it with green, and that would make it blue green like the sea or like turquoise.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be love and communication going out all over the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a Tiffany blue is like saying I love you, right?
Yeah. So, and we call that duck egg blue in England, that Tiffany blue.
Hmm.
I guess that's the color of ducks, maybe. Duck eggs. I don't know. Maybe they
Easter
are in
eggs.
England. Yeah. So basically, we would be sending out our love and forgiveness to heal the whole world, creating a place for us to go into. So, in a way, by doing that, we're creating 5D Earth.
Yeah.
We're pushing it along. We're helping it.
Yeah. I
And the
like that.
sooner the better, right? Because we all want 5D Earth sooner rather than later.
ASAP.
ASAP.
ASAP. Let's get it.
Peace, love, understanding, cooperation, compassion, calm, serenity. It'll feel good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it then.
All right. Sounds
Okay,
good.
I'm just going to go off here and probably take a drink of water before I start. We know the
Okay.
drill. There we go.
Perfect.
Okay. So go ahead and get comfortable, and don't do this while you're driving or walking. And close your eyes if you like, and just take a nice, deep, relaxing breath in to relax all of your muscles in your body. And exhale out any tension or stress of the day. And when you're ready, take another deep, full breath in, extend your lower tummy with it, hold it for a moment, and exhale out any tension anywhere in your body. And finally, we'll take that third deep, comfortable breath in, hold it, and exhale when you're ready. And now we're going to do the heart maths breathing. We're going to breathe in through our heart, and we're going to exhale back out of our heart. And we're going to continue to do that at a pace that is comfortable for you. And while you're doing that, imagine breathing in a color, filling your body up with that color, and exhaling that color back out of your heart. You can go ahead and breathe in a beautiful green, fill your body up with green, and exhale green back out. You could do a yellow, breathing it in through your heart chakra, filling your body with it, exhaling it back out of your heart center. You might want to do a pink or blue, a red or an orange, any color. In fact, you can breathe in a rainbow of colors, fill up your body with that, and exhale it back out into your environment. So now would be a good time to put down a grounding cord from your root chakra all the way down through the various different layers of the earth. Let it go down further and further until it reaches the center of the earth. And then let it spread out in all directions like a tree, the roots grounding you to earth, Mother Earth. And then imagine doing something that you love. Use all of your senses to either picture or imagine yourself doing something on earth that you love doing. You can do it alone or you could do it with people. It could be with your family, it could be with friends, it could be with pets, it could be out in nature, it could be in your home. Whatever you like, just picture doing something that brings you a great deal of joy. And now we're all going to psychically hold hands, emotionally and mentally hold hands together as a loving group, increasing the power of our energy, our thoughts, and our feelings. And we're going to start to breathe in a beautiful, clear, crystalline white light from God or from Source, whichever you're comfortable with. And we're going to let that come in through our crown chakra, go down all of our chakras. And as any excess goes down our grounding cord to the center of the earth, we're going to send out that pure, white, clean, clear, healing energy. Send it out now from your heart to the rest of the world. Let that feel comfortable, as if it's a breath from God coming in through your crown chakra, filling you up and going out of your heart to the rest of the world. Start by filling up the space that you're in. Go ahead and fill up your room, your home. Let it spread out to your community. It's abundant, it's flowing, it has no beginning, it has no end. It feels healing to your body, it feels healing to your mind. And let it go out now and spread over your community, and let it go as far as your state or maybe your province. Let it go out further and spread all over the country that you're in. This beautiful, white, clear, clean, healing light. And let it go out over the whole world now. Let that beautiful, clear, clean light that's coming from God through you, through your heart, with your love and your forgiveness, let it spread out everywhere over the entire earth. Whatever shape you see that as is fine. And let that light touch all things. It touches all minerals, clearing and cleaning. It touches all vegetation, clearing and cleaning, balancing, healing. It touches all animals in the water, the air, the land, clearing and cleaning. And it touches all people, all human beings, all fellow human beings, your human family. It touches them all, clearing, cleaning, balancing, healing. And now send out some compassion, send out some love, send out forgiveness to both sides of any conflict anywhere. And send out strength and send out balance and harmony and send out peace. What does peace look like? What does peace sound like? What does peace feel like? Immerse yourself in the white light and immerse your world, your earth, in that healing white light from God or from Source for compassion, forgiveness, cooperation, and love. And now we'll just go silent for 3 minutes. And you can go ahead and send that compassionate white light anywhere in the world that you wish. You can pick a specific spot that you know about. You can keep it close to home, or you can send it to the whole earth at once. Just bathe the earth in this healing, clearing, and cleaning, white, compassionate, loving light. So before you open your eyes and start to move around, and before you let go of your grounding cord, just let that white light ease off. Any excess just goes out the top of your head, down your grounding cord, down your arms, out your fingers, down your legs and out your toes, until all of the chakra energy points in your body are completely balanced, completely clear, clean, completely energized, and completely healthy, operating in an ideal way for what is best for you. And now you can let go of your grounding cord and you can start to move around. Move the mic away.
Awesome. Wow. I guess I went really deep during that 3 minutes. It seemed like when you came back, I was like, wow, that seemed really long for some reason.
That seemed really long, and my hands were buzzing like they've not done that in a long time. They didn't get hot, but they were like buzzy. They were just so full of light. So I kind of felt the group energy.
I guess it's that excitement building.
Yeah, I think we're very powerful, and when we get together and we think the same thing, boom, we just like really hit it with a lot of energy.
I guess I need to do like for those that aren't going to be able to join us there, I guess I need to. You guys can check, and I will post something on the YouTube. You know, you can just post a message on there, on the YouTube messages.
More. Can you? Oh yeah, the community tab, that kind.
Yeah.
Okay, because we used to do private messaging on YouTube. That's been gone for a little while.
Oh, it has. Oh,
Yeah.
I used to forget. Like I check it like once a month, and I just realized I haven't checked it in a long
I
time. So
know,
I
and
guess
then it'd be really embarrassing. Like, I'm sorry, I ignored you. I didn't know I had a message.
I didn't even know that. Why don't they give you notifications for that? It was
They
kind of
don't.
a dumb setup because it would not tell you that it was even there.
It's
You know.
gone now, and so that's why you and I always say, email me, email me.
All right. Thank you so much, Ronnie. So yeah, that was like one of the things I wanted to mention in case you guys didn't hear. 99 people registered for the event at ECETI. Also, for the people who are not staying there and you bought the Skywatch for Friday and Saturday night and they didn't have it available for Thursday and Sunday, you can call ahead to the ranch. They'll give you the gate code, and then you can pay once you go in there for the first and last day. So
Because
I
those are
think
private. That's just for our group, right?
right, but I think you have to be registered for the other 2 days to do that the first and last day thing.
Okay.
Pretty sure, because then they already have your information. They're just adding you to those 2 days rather
So,
than
do I have
you
this
don't want to
right?
show up without registering. Is what I'm getting at. You know
No,
what I
no,
mean?
because then you can't get through the gate code, the gate. But so the first day and the last day, Thursday and Sunday, are just for unbiased and on the fence.
Or it's just for people staying at the ranch.
Gotcha.
Right. Now, anybody was allowed to register. So out of those 99, there could be a few that aren't, that have no idea who we are. But,
Sure. Well, they're going
you
to
know,
learn.
they're going
They're going to find
to,
out.
they're still our kind of people, though, if they're going to, go to ECETI and try to make contact, enlightened contact, So they're part of our group and don't even realize it, right?
You guys can ask for contact beforehand or not. You can ask not to be contacted if you're not comfortable with that. If you are, you can ask for it ahead of time.
But I thought if I post something on there, if we come up with our time, we're going to be meditating at ECETI, I can post something for anybody else that wants
Oh
to
yeah,
join wherever
community
they're
tab.
at. Maybe go out in the backyard or something. You might
Yeah.
get contact
And
out
then
there.
my
That'd be
sister
interesting.
said for those who would like to be there, who can't be there, we're going to ask for contact for them too. Like, we're not going to leave them out. It doesn't matter where you are in the
Yeah,
world. If you wanted to be there and you wanted to do contact with us as a group, if it happens, we'll ask that they include you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So a
Cool.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, one more show Monday with Sherry for Paranormal Frequencies. We're going to have Robert Wagner on. So
I
that's
know
going
that as an actor. I remember Robert Wagner from Heart to Heart,
to be.
married to Natalie Woods, right? Wood or
Yeah.
Woods? What is she now?
Oh gosh.
Natalie
Probably.
Woods?
Yeah. He wrote Lucid Dreaming, Gateway to the Inner Self,
Oh, cool.
and Lucid Dreaming, Plain and Simple. So looking forward to
Oh, I
having
like
him
that.
on. Yeah, it's going to be a great topic. So great author. So
Great
thank you
topic.
to Sherry for getting him on, and My grandson's going crazy out there. Sounds like.
Oh, he's ready to play. And you're not doing Tuesday because Michelle's traveling.
Right. I might buzz in and let you guys know where we're at.
Are you
But
leaving Tuesday too?
Tuesday out.
Okay. I'm not going to do Wednesday. And we're not going to necessarily do next Friday and Saturday night, are we? We should tell people
Right.
that if we don't get internet, we're just not going to be there.
Right. But
But
like I
you,
said, I will at least upload something, so you guys will get
okay,
some kind of update one way or another, even if I have
cool.
to drive to a McDonald's or something.
Yeah, I was going to say there must be like a McDonald's or a Starbucks somewhere nearby that has
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, right?
Right.
I'll go
Or
with you. I'll have a coffee.
yeah, just a matter of driving, and yeah, there's supposed to be like a cafe in town too.
They might
Of
have
course,
Wi-Fi.
we can't all show up at the same time because it's not big enough, but we can go in shifts.
That would be
Things like
funny. Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be so fun.
I need to find out from Michelle. She's and also John Benny. He's staying off site in the cabin somewhere, so there might be
Oh, so
Wi-Fi.
John's not in a yurt?
No, I don't think so. I think he's
Okay.
off campus at because I don't think there was any yurts or cabins left,
I
were
think
there?
you said campus, like it's a school, like we're all going to ET school.
That's
Yeah, I
funny.
didn't know that. I didn't know because I know it's all sold out. It's pretty much sold out. They still have a couple of tents left, like a couple.
Oh, the rental tents.
Yeah, and a couple of blow up
Yeah,
beds if somebody's still interested last minute.
yeah, pretty fun. Awesome.
Or you can drive and sleep in your car and just pay per person in your car. But that you have to pay because you get access to, it's like you're bringing a tent because you get the toilets and the showers. So
Yeah,
it's the same cost as if you pitch a tent.
that's probably what I would have done anyway.
Sleep in
Is
the
slept
car.
in the car. Yeah,
Yeah.
depends on the kind of like my car's horribly uncomfortable. There's a console in the middle and in the front and the back, so there's no laying down anywhere, and the seat doesn't. It's not comfortable. I
Yeah.
learned my lesson in Sedona. I got there and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to pay for a hotel room. It was like
You
2 in the
slept in the
morning,
car.
and I just slept in the car for a few hours and
The
got right
driver's
back
seat,
up. And
just like laid back the seat and let your feet go down into
no
the
tinted
well.
windows or anything. Just
No,
yeah,
snoring away and hoping a cop doesn't like you had to find a safe place. Did you have a safe place to park?
yeah. It was. Kerry was in his truck next to me. Of course, he had all the room because he's got an extra cab, so he got in
Oh,
the
was it
back
like
and
one of those pull-offs where they make them for people to sleep because you're driving and
no,
you're
there was
tired?
actually we went behind a nice I think it was a Holiday Inn or something
Oh,
and
okay.
parked in the back under a tree and just went to sleep for a few hours, you know.
As you do.
Yeah.
Well, this will be our last live show for a little bit then.
Yeah, it'll be our last one for a little bit.
It
Unless we
kind
can broadcast from East City.
I want to broadcast from ECETI, and then I also want to disconnect. Like, I want to broadcast and say, "Hey, this is it. This is what it looks like." Show people what it looks like, and then I'm not going to be watching videos every day because that's a good natural way to disconnect
Oh,
and
definitely.
not be
Yeah.
tied into electronics for 4 days.
And then I can just grab footage and then edit it together later, you know.
Oh, that'd be
So,
great.
yeah. But, you know, if I can get some internet, go live and have some of the viewers come over and just say hi to everybody, I think that'd be cool. So,
That would be
we'll just
cool
have to
too.
see.
We're gonna
It'll
play
be
it by
perfect.
ear. We're gonna play it
Yeah,
by
we'll
ear.
play by ear. That's all we can do, you know.
That's all we can do.
Because we might have other options. There might be hotspots we can get depending on whose phone. So
I
there's
have
a
a
lot of
hotspot. You can use
yeah,
mine, but it's a
yeah,
Sprint hotspot. So if we don't have a Sprint reception, you don't get the
right.
hotspot, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I have an Xfinity hotspot too. So I've
Yeah.
got a couple on my phone.
Oh, nice.
And you
Okay.
can use it. Yeah, because I never use them. I never go into the hotspot data.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So we will be back in 2 weeks
yeah,
if we're not back next week.
yep.
It'll be fun.
Or a version of us will be back.
Right. Doppelgangers.
Ah, timeline jumping.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Just kidding. I take it back. I take it back. I take it back. Cancel, alt, delete. It'll be
Yeah,
us.
bring a Wi-Fi booster. That'd be awesome. Let's
Is there
see.
such a thing? Yeah. Can you buy like a Wi-Fi booster?
I think you can, but I don't think their problem is the signal at the ranch. I think the Wi-Fi itself sucks because it's like rural stuff, you know. You know how
Yeah,
it is. It's
it's pretty wild out there.
yeah,
There's like a town 30 miles away where
yeah.
all the normal hotels and restaurants are. So you got to drive 30 miles, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you look at it, it's like 30 minutes away driving.
And that's like, you know, if you're on some of those back roads where you're only doing 30, then, you know, 30 miles can be a lot more
Oh my
than,
God, it could be an hour away then.
yeah, it could be an
If you're
hour
only
away
going
then.
30 miles an hour, then it's an
Yeah.
hour away.
Because that's how it was like going from Flagstaff to Sedona. I'm like, it's only like 20 something miles. Why are they saying it's like 45 minutes, you know? But then you get down, you're going around these winding roads in the mountains.
Yeah,
You're like,
isn't it
oh,
beautiful?
now
It's
it's,
such a beautiful drive. And then, did you see the little log cabins along the way?
yeah, it's so awesome.
Nice.
It's like you got dropped off in a different world. It
A
really is.
different world for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys for all of you that's going to be out at ESETI. And then if you don't tune in Monday, then I will see you guys out there and look forward to meeting you in person, Eileen.
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing how tall you really are, because you could be a 3-foot midget. You could have been lying to me all this time. I've seen the photos. I know. I'll be going, hi, Shane.
6'1.5", but I
Yep.
might have shrunk a half inch, you know.
Well, I shrunk a half an inch too. So I'm closer to 5'4" now.
Awesome. Love you guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank
Love
you
you
again,
guys.
Eileen.
See you in a few weeks, if not at the weekend. Mwah.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye-bye. If you'd like to support the work I do, go to paypal.me/UOTF. Thanks.